The fields begin to appear just a 2-hour flight west of the capital. This used to be an area of dense forest, but Alberto Yanosky, director of the conservation group Guyra Paraguay, sees it disappearing faster and faster. This forest region is called Gran Chaco. It's about the size of Britain, but each day 1,000 hectares are chopped down to make pasture land for beef cattle. Yanosky and his colleague regularly check to see which areas have been cleared and compare the data to satellite images. After 5 hours of surveying from the air, they reach a sobering conclusion. More forest has disappeared than the pair had expected.
We have had some rains during the last day, so we were not expecting the machinery, especially the bulldozers, to be working, but we have seen it.
Grazing land is at a premium in Paraguay. Many of the farmers looking to buy it come from neighboring Argentina or Brazil, where the price per hectare is considerably higher. Paraguay has become the world's 9th largest producer of beef. The capital, Asunción, is the country's economic hub. And this is where the big land deals are made. 96% of Paraguay's land is privately owned, which means it can be bought and sold easily.
Paraguay has not many natural resources like oil or gold, so our natural resources are mainly water, sun, good land. And so we think that this country is, the vocation of this country is food production.
The consequences can be seen in the east of the country. This is where the Atlantic rainforest once stood, with its estimated 20,000 plant species. Today, 90% of the trees have been felled. Yanosky and his organization are trying to save the rest. Along with 20 employees, he documents the deforestation and buys his own plots of forest land, like here in San Rafael. But even those areas are under threat. Right next to this one, farmers have planted soybeans. They're harvested up to 3 times a year.
Every time we come here to do a controlling and patrolling, we see that we have more centimeters going into the forest, especially because the landowner is doing the harvesting or just the new crop, and usually he says that it's a problem of the machinery going each time and eating a little more of our forest.
Alberto Yanosky's organization has acquired 7,000 hectares of rainforest, and it wants to buy more in order to preserve the enormous abundance of plant and animal species. There's a camp at the edge of the area.
Miguel, ¿cómo está? ¿Todo bien? Sí. ¿Cómo anda la cosa por aquí?
Alberto Yanosky himself travels a lot to raise donations. Last year, he managed to collect 1.5 million euros from private donors as well as other environmental organizations. He needs the money to pay rangers to patrol his group's holdings. The price per hectare has increased tenfold over recent years. But Yanosky still hopes to expand the protected area.
20,000 hectares is something that is achievable. We can do it if we can find the resources, if we can find the willingness of people to help us, or if we can convince the government that we need to develop a new mechanism that having a standing forest is as valuable as growing soy, or is as valuable as growing livestock or beef.
The forest is not just an ecosystem for plants and animals. It's also a home to people like Eusebio Chaparro. He is a cacique, one of the tribal leaders of the Mbaya Guarani. For the 25 families in his tribe, the forest is a source of their basic livelihood. It's where they find food, building materials, and medicines, and they only take as much as they need.
This is called cedrillo. We use it after a blow, like when you play sports and get hit. We drink this as a tea. It relieves the pain. And this is a medicine for headaches. We drink that as a tea too. This is cangorosa from the forest.
Chaparro's tribe lives on just 10 square kilometers, which the state has granted them.
Hey, Chaparro! Vaya, Chapa! Hey, amigo! ¿Cómo está?
The area borders on the lands owned by Alberto Yanosky's environmental organization. The NGO Guyra want to join his group and buy more forest land.
That's our custom. We cannot live differently. Hunting in the forest, collecting herbs, making honey. And if we go anywhere else, we won't be able to do it anymore.
The NGO Guyra want to sell corn and honey to raise money to buy the land, despite the high prices. Environmentalists and indigenous residents hope together they can save the remaining 10% of Paraguay's Atlantic rainforest.